him a couple of times, done a couple of shows in Sydney with the man, so believe me, absolutely fantastic. Nice to have everybody along this morning. It is 12 after 10 o'clock, 22 degrees. We're heading up there. Weatherman says 23 today. Barbara's prediction, 26 degrees. Mine is 28 degrees. And I think we're going to get there. I've got hope anyway. It is Wednesday, first of the, well, you know, it's first of the month, first day of summer here in New Zealand, December the 1st, and a pinch and a punch for everybody that's joining us this morning. Nice to have everybody along. And believe me, today is, well, you know, something a little different. I got to be honest with you. A little bit of music involved, yes, but more a humanitarian thing. And we're joined today by Franco Nannucci. I think he's driving over the Manhattan Transfer Bridge or something like that right now.
Exactly.
Now, Franco.
Good day, everybody. Is it?
I can hardly hear you, unfortunately. I'm trying to get you involved here. Can you continue saying something, Franco?
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we
Good morning, New Zealand.
That's...
Over there you are Wednesday, but over here is it Tuesday? Yes, it is still Tuesday.
Yeah, Franco, nice to have you on board, my friend. Now, Barbara and I have been discussing this for some time. We were introduced to this by, well, a good friend of ours, Thornell Jones Jr., who is a selector for the Grammys.
Exactly.
Now, you know Thornell quite well.
Well, I do actually had the pleasure to meet him not long ago, but I went to visit him in Florida and spend a lovely day with him while we were in process of promoting our album for the ballots of the Grammy Awards, because believe it or not, even a textile salesman can have an album in the ballot of the Grammys as long as you do it with full love and for the right purposes. And Thornell was really fantastic in supporting us. We didn't get the nomination, we didn't expect it, but we get visibility and awareness, as we are actually so happy to do together with you for our humanitarian project, DJ Glenn.
Well, I tell you what, Franco, I am honoured to be able to not only meet you and discuss this project, but I'm also honoured to know Thornell Jones Jr. We've known him for a number of years. Good friend to Galaxy, he really is. Brian Wayne Perry is joining us. Nice to have you on board again this morning, Brian. And also David G. Baker. Nice to have you on board as well. Now, what we're talking about today is, of course, the album Music for Love, but we're also talking about, well, we could be talking about textiles as well. Believe me, we kind of know a little bit about sheep here in New Zealand and where the wool goes, what it turns into. It could be a carpet, could be a high-class dress as well. And believe me, I used to have a girlfriend that was a model that used to walk the catwalks for people, much like Franco and, well, the designers that make these wonderful garments. So we could go down that road as well. But first of all, let me fill you in here. And this is really, really interesting. Now, Franco, I got to let you know, normally when I get a bio from a band, I might be lucky to get one page. You know what I mean? From you, I have received literally booklet after booklet after booklet of information. It has been a wealth of information, it really has. And let me just take everybody through this. And for those of you that are joining us today, thank you for joining us. Don't forget, if you're going to watch this again a little later over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do. Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. Bell for notifications for when we get important people. Now, you're going to love this. You really are. Founded by US-based textile entrepreneur Franco Nannucci, Music for Love is a charitable organisation aimed at bringing tangible and effective economic support to different charity projects around the world. The goal is to ensure significant immediate help to children and young adults living in contexts of extreme poverty, where basic things such as survival and personal safety are questioned on a daily basis. That grabbed my attention straight away. Music for Love was originally founded on the basis as a charitable foundation and a vehicle to raise money for humanitarian causes. That also grabbed my attention. Music for Love's charitable organisation is made up of a united group of dedicated people and artists from diverse racial, cultural, ethnical backgrounds bound together by one clear goal. Important, it really is. Help those who are less fortunate. Well, that's what it's about through our music and events. They use 100% of the proceeds. This is important to better the education, healthcare and economical situations of those less fortunate in order to create a path for a brighter future as to many as we can. Music for Love cannot do this alone. Come on, they can't. They always support other organisations, projects and volunteers who share the same vision, using every dollar or euro to apply it to something good. Welcome, Franco. Now, tell me about this. Now, let's start, and believe me, I was fascinated with this as well. Fabrizio Molina Onless. He was a racer in the Dakar thing, wasn't he? And he had a slight incident there, passed away.
Yes. Well, he was really a sort of the initiator of this. He was a great person, and most of everything he had a big heart. And so he always said to people, Africa gave me a lot, I have to give something back. So as soon as he got the first money out of his profession, he bought land and started to build school. I had the luxury to know him quite well. I have done the Paris-Dakar twice myself, never finished the race, unfortunately. But I was fascinated by his view of what we could do with small resources in Africa to change the life of people. So
we're trying to hang in there. Unfortunately, his connection is pretty poor right now.
We need to manage these different guys.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Franco. Yeah, I'm sorry about that, Franco. You broke up about 3/4 of the way through that.
Yeah. I said, so he was a mentor to me as far as envisioning the charity work, Italian project, and I decided to do it in a way that I think no other humanitarian organization does. I fund the project, the music project, 100% from my own, pocket. It doesn't matter what, so that every single dollar, euro, yen, whatever we get, actually we have got even donation in the past from New Zealand, because a couple of my friends sent some funds, so that the 100% of what we really fundraise get to the project. Because today charity is becoming too much of a P&L, profit and loss is becoming almost a business. And in my naive way, of a dreamer, I still believe if we do charity and humanitarian support, we have to do it the real way. None of us should really get the gain personal. If you can dedicate time, if you can dedicate resources, if you can dedicate your knowledge and expertise, all of this could really make a change. So, yes, Fabrizio was my real light in starting this an inspiration grant.
Now, I got to let you know, Franco, as far as I know right now, your residence is in North Carolina. Am I right there?
Correct.
Okay, now we've got a huge wealth of information and talent coming out of North Carolina. Believe me, we're big fans. In fact, one of our fans sent us your local flag, to be honest with you, and it takes pride of place here at Galaxy. Now, one guy that we were talking to last week, now I got to apologise, we were supposed to do this last week, but unfortunately we had technical difficulties here.
I know.
And I do apologise about that, but in the meantime,
no problem.
One of the guys that was coming on board to have a listen to this particular interview, he said to me, and believe me, he's got a great band himself and very good friend to Galaxies, he said to me, I didn't know this was in my backyard. He comes from Greensboro. And I said, bro, it is really something to behold. It really is. I'm in. I'm all in on this and I want to get involved. And he goes, how do I get involved?
Appreciated this, and I tell you, this is the beauty of what I'm trying to do. This is what gives me the drive. the fact that the word of mouth, because I meet a guy, then meet another guy, then meet another guy. Look at me. Today I'm talking to New Zealand through Tornell, that I met through another guys in California, that I met through a guys in London. I mean, it's like an infinite chain of people that are getting together. So he should call me, send him my contact. I would love to have more people in North Carolina helping me out. The more we are, Grant, the better we can do. Alone, we cannot have any sort of success. For sure, not in changing the world, of making it a better place.
Franco, I will certainly do that. I really, really will. But his question to me is, I have so many artists here. How do we put a show together? How do we donate money to this cause? So I will get him in touch with you.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, if you want, there are very simple ways to do it. Personally, I don't even like to handle the money because, again, this is part of my way to be totally transparent. So the money should be sent through our website, you know, themusicforlove.org. There is a link where you can send a donation to the charity that take care about part of this project. Otherwise, you can go to the Fondazione Fabrizio Meoni.it, that is the foundation of Fabrizio, the car pilot, that has also part of the project under their umbrella. So everybody that wants to send a donation, you can do it with a wire transfer, with a credit card. It doesn't matter if it's $5, $10, $20. If it's more, of course, we appreciate it. We invite always corporation to look at us. We are maybe not visible as much as other major organizations, but we are true. My say is, I ask for a donation, and I'm going to show you in 3 months a project. And I've always been able to deliver the proof of our work, because that's really what it's all about. If I cannot prove you that we are true, your money is lost. And so, you know, the foundation that you find the link on the musicforlove.org or on the Fondazione Fabrizio Meoni.it. And, you know, those donations will end up in helping for real kids and young adults and try to make the future life of these people a better life.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Franco. I think this man wants to put a festival together full of volunteered artists, and believe me, a couple of bucks is not going to cut it here. I'm looking at maybe, you know, $500,000 if you're lucky.
I take your word about the festival.
Well, I'll get that.
And why not doing it in New Zealand? You know what? We will need to talk about that.
Absolutely. Well, to be honest with you, I'm actually talking about bands in your backyard, doing something for you in your backyard. But we would love to have you and a number of bands perform here in New Zealand. And in fact, let me do this, my friend. You're going to love this. Here, off the album, Music for Love, is Sonny King.
Galaxy 107fm.
So we want to promote the album as well, if you know what I mean. So,
of course, absolutely. As you may know, right, the 100% of what we get out of the streaming as well as the sales of the album go to the project. So not just the donation. So yes, that would be lovely. Honestly, I don't know how I can thank you enough for what you are doing. You know, one day I will be able to give you back something for this opportunity you are giving to me.
Franco, I absolutely do not want anything in return. I want to get involved, I want to help, and I want to know how I can do it and how I can get my audience to be able to have this information, be aware of it.
Anybody that likes what we are doing, anybody that wants to have more information, every private citizen, you know, every corporation that is intrigued by our way to approach humanitarian project, feel free to direct them personally to me, and I will for sure dedicate time. We have been able to communicate nicely with a lot of corporations that have started to embrace our project and be sort of regular donor, because they see that every year we deliver something. They see that every year we get to the next level, and that's what is really all about. So.
Hi, Cheryl.
Very, very cool. Got to say hi to Sean Simpson, who's joining. Hello,
Yes.
darling. Looking forward to seeing you on our Christmas show. I really am. And I apologise over last week. We have had a few difficulties, but if you have a look, you'll notice there's a few subtle changes, including a new desk, a new computer, and new apps that, we had to do that. Also, Cheryl Arnold's joining us. Cheryl, darling, nice to have you back again. How many countries this morning?
Countries, 293.
Countries?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
84 was the last time I looked.
Yes.
200 and how many?
93.
200.
Just that's it in the car for a while at this point.
Franco, I got to let you know.
Yes, yeah.
My producer just told me there's 294 countries joined in listening to us right now.
Well, that's. You need to send me a memo, Barbara, please, by messenger or email or whatever, because I need to make a post about that. We have never been like, for us it's like really rock and roll here. We are rock and roll here. This is great.
Well, I'll give you how many were logged in, the numbers, at the end of this. Of course, it's going up all the time. I'll also let you know when my producer lets me know how many cities are listening in right now. You will be surprised. You really will. But we are a global station.
I have heard, honestly, DJ Grant, I've heard things about Galaxy that I have been shocked. On total honest, I've been shocked.
Well, I hope it's all bad.
You've got to share it. You've got to
Yes,
share it.
of course.
He's got to share it. Come on, get
Barbara
on.
says you got to share. You got to share.
on.
We'll talk about that later. But in the meantime, let's go back to the desk.
God's grace behind it. God's grace behind it.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and well, thank you so much, Sean. We think you rock as well. Kathy Bell is watching, and well, Terry Van Cannon
Yeah, he
coming
needs to
out
be
of
on.
North Carolina. Yes, Franco Nannucci, who lives in your backyard, bro. We are talking a humanitarian project today, and of course, playing music from the album Music for Love, Volume 1. 14 tracks, 29 artists, 8 nationalities, with influences in musical genres from different cultures and support. You know, it's a great album. Please, 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 please go and check it out. Go and make a purchase wherever you can on all the music platforms. Believe me, I'm sure you'll find it there. And joined today by the president of the movement himself, Franco Nannucci. Franco, thank you so much for joining us. Now, Franco, believe me, it is an absolute pleasure to talk about this. But the proceeds, now, they go to making schools, hospitals, providing books and everything like that. In places like, I see the Sudan, you're moving into Africa pretty much. And
Yes.
we introduced you to a friend of ours, Marvin 42. Now,
Yes.
I got to let you know, Franco, he is an absolute gem. He really, really is.
I know.
And wonderful man in his own right. He tells me that he thinks you're an absolute wonderful man. How do we get some of his bands interested in being a part of this?
Actually, I have been in touch with Marvin the last 2 weeks. I have been in London. I've been here, so I was not, let's say, as available or as reachable. Also because I was trying to discuss the next step of Music for Love in the world of humanitarian project as well as music. So my intention is that next week I want to start to review with the two guys that are helping me out on the music, one of which is Sonny King that you just played one of the track, and the other is Stefano De Donato that is really my, I would say, really the soul behind the music construction of Music for Love Volume 1, that are really, you know, I don't play any instrument, I just have a good ear maybe and some intuition, but without those guys I would not be able to do music. So Marvin's players and bands I've heard are really cool, I really like the vibe, I really like the sound. So we will try to implement some or all of them, depending on the project, into our musical project, and hopefully we will be able to introduce them to some recording labels that could have interest, you know, some professional recording label that could really help them to grow as a career
Sounds
in
awesome.
the music industry. Because that's what we really like also, DJ Van. We like to get opportunities to young artists to grow, okay, and so we try to connect them with professionals in the industry to make that happen.
Well, I got to be honest with you, Franco, that's great news. And more so, it is great news for us because we also play a lot of Marvin's bands and music here at Galaxy. We
I know.
get a huge following. And would you believe, one of the biggest countries in the world that's following us right now is Uganda. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was so surprised, Shane. It's fantastic. The beauty of radio that can really reach everywhere.
Exactly. And unfortunately, you see, we put an old school twist on a modern theme, if you know what I mean, with the internet and everything like that these days. Corey Luchin is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Corey. And kia ora to you, my friend. It really is good to have everybody joining us today because we want to be able to make all of our fans and our listeners aware of this particular project. Now, is it hard to get the resources together to be able to build the schools?
Do I need to be polite or DJ?
You can be yourself, Franco.
It's hard, Grant. It's really hard. First of all, as I was saying before, too many people are playing dirty with non-profit and everything else. So even the good one, and I don't want to have the arrogance of saying that we are the one, but we are one of the many really transparent. Of course, suffer the fact that people say, why should I give you the money? You know, are you sure? Who is going to tell me that you're really going to use them? So my transparency and visibility to the project we look after, it's crystal clear. I've taken people to the project themselves to visit. So it's really hard. And my real goal of the music of this crazy album and having involved, you know, I'm not sure if you are aware, but the Bob Marley's family is involved into this album, not on the music side, but on the humanitarian purpose. I have the backup of Miles Davis' family. I have the backup of Michelle Petrucciani's family. So my real goal, as I always say, I don't want to become rich and famous because of music. I want to create awareness, as you are actually very well expressed in your introduction for the project. This is what it's all about. And if any corporation that has the intention but is not sure would make a phone call or an email to me, I am sure we would convince them that we are the right vehicle to be a change for some of these people. So it's not easy. It's really not easy these days, Grant. Absolutely not.
I get that, my friend. Believe me, I fully get that. We get behind a couple of charities around the world and here in New Zealand as well. And we try to do our best to raise awareness about this, try to make people see the light and say, hey, listen, this is a great project. And I've spoken to Thornell in depth about this and about you, I got to be honest with you. And that convinced me straight away how he felt about you in this project, that we wanted to be involved. We really, really did. So I'm kind of hoping that we're going to have a relationship here where we can actually talk more about this on air, make this a more aware thing, that we can come back and rehash everything again. But moreover,
Absolutely.
moreover, I'm kind of hoping that we can release more new music in the future with you as well. Being a radio station, we absolutely love music. We really do. And we don't play garage bands or anything like that. We only play the best music in the world, literally. And I got to congratulate you. Music for Love hits that across the board. It really does. So
I appreciate that.
I really
It was done with the heart. I didn't expect this to become this kind of product. It has exceeded my expectation, but I tell you something that nobody knows yet, but I'm willing to tell you. We actually are mixing a new album that is not going to be a Music for Love Volume 2, that most probably is going to get you even a better sense of why we love music, because the few people that have listened to this have said that this is seriously even better of the quality of Music for Love Volume 1. So as soon as it's mixed next week, I will send you a file, but you have to keep it in your drawer until it's going to be released.
I tell you what, best way to be able to do that is actually to send it to Barbara. She's very, very tight with that, because believe me, I get it. I play it.
Yes. You will, yeah, I'll do that.
I'm my own worst enemy sometimes. I really am. But I'm honest, at least. Terry Van Cannon, nice to see the new work on the way there from you, my friend. Looking forward to that. And believe me, we absolutely love North Carolina. We really, really do. And again, one of your next door neighbours, literally, online this morning. Now, at the same time, Franco, I want to talk about Fabrizio Bozo and Dreaming Miles. This is something to do with Miles Davis. Now, you mentioned that you had a relationship with the Davis family. Also, you mentioned you had a relationship with the Marley family. Now, let me tell you, a friend of ours literally is coming out of Georgia these days. He's a bishop, literally, coming from Jamaica, and I know you do a little bit of work with Jamaica as well.
Yes, correct.
His son, he's called, by the way, Denroy Morgan. Now, his son is part of the Morgan heritage that deals with the Marley family as well, and also people like Shaggy and stuff like that. So they're right up there. They're going to be visiting us again next week, to be honest with you. Would you mind if I got in touch with these guys, mentioned your cause, and see if they will get on board with you as well?
Absolutely. I mean, it would be absolutely fantastic. I think here the real goal is the bigger the network, the greatest the results may be. Absolutely, yes.
Yes, absolutely. I'm right there with you. And as you know, today we are global. We're in a number of countries around the world. I'll let you know how many cities and people tuned in a little later on. But if we can get this out to the world and create at least 1% of interest, that is 1% more than we started with, if you know what I'm saying.
Exactly.
And it snowballs from there, because friends tell friends tell friends tell friends. That's how we got our listenership, literally, is people were telling other people all about us, and before you know it, we had millions around the world tuning in. And so much so, we had to upgrade our system over and over and over and over again to be able to handle the traffic. So I want to talk about Fabrizio Bozo. Now, tell me about this man.
Well, Fabrizio Bosso has been another of my lucky encounter. I think my life in the last 6 years has been very lucky to encounter all these people. I called him. I liked his music. I wanted to have a trumpetist in my roster, and he loved a lot of music I love. He embraced the project of Music for Love since day one, because he's the musician that has always been present in every single sort of event, indirectly or directly, and every music release. He's most probably one of the best trumpet in the world these days. He's not very well known in North America, but his talent exceed really the excellence, okay? And then what happened? I need to go backwards a little bit. I met the nephew of Miles Davis in a way that if you would plan it, it wouldn't be possible. I was on a plane, Los Angeles, Chicago, and I was dancing, sitting on my chair like this. And a guy come to me and he say, "Hey man, you grooving, eh?" And I said, "Oh yes, sir. You know, I'm listening music of Miles Davis just released. His nephew just did it. Blah blah blah." He looked at me and he said, "His nephew? I'm Vince. I am his nephew." So I said, "You gotta be kidding me." So I look at him, "Oh Vince, come on." I start to hug it. So I told him I had this dream of dedicating a song to Miles Davis, and he said, "Franco," he investigated a little bit about me. And he said, "Yes, do it and send it to me." I mean, I didn't need his approval, but he said, "I want to play this song one day together with Daryl Jones on the bass," because, you know, Vincent Wilbur Jr. and Daryl Jones are school friends, and he was the one that brought Daryl Jones to Miles Davis, that then went to Sting and the Rolling Stones. So Dreaming Miles is really my vision that I expressed to Stefano De Donato and Fabrizio Bosso. And I said, I really see Miles. I have seen him live a couple of times before he passed away, and they executed a song that made me really, I don't know, I don't know how I can explain you, Grant, because it was like if I would have composed it, so I would have done it exactly the same way.
I get it, I really do. So, here, live, joined by Franco, the man himself, here is Fabrizio Bosso and Dreaming Miles.
Don't call my music jazz. It's social music. My music? Don't call my music jazz.
How you feeling, Franco? You okay?
Great, great. Honestly, you know, I'm so happy, Grant. You cannot imagine. You know, I'm really very happy. I'm really very happy.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Again, you are another of these encounters that is making my life like a movie lately. You know, the last 6 years, I say, I crossed the path of the game, Rohan Marley and the nephew of Miles Davis. I mean, it's like a movie. I mean, sometimes I believe people are going to think I'm using drugs because, you know, how can that be that this textile salesman is getting all these, you know, connection or something?
Believe me, my friend, I fully understand. I really do. I've spent about 40 years in the music industry myself, not only as a radio announcer, but studio engineer. Believe me, I used to do a lot of mixing. Also a front of house engineer, travelled around the world with some of the biggest bands in the world, including AC/DC. And
wow.
Oh yeah, a good friend of mine is actually the founder of AC/DC, which is Dave Evans.
Wow.
He was the very first lead singer as well, before Bon Scott.
If he wants to meet him, I can introduce him.
Yeah, if you want to meet, Barbara will introduce him if you want to meet him.
Honestly, everything you think it could be good, let's do it. I mean, I don't put limits, you know, I don't have boundaries. And then the future will talk, you know, I always say like that.
And I'm thinking too about the magazine.
Yeah, now I want to talk to you about this because, believe me, this is important, my friend. We're associated with a magazine coming out of India. About
Yes.
8 million people in the region where my friend Jay has this magazine, and it's a global magazine. It is an absolute top class magazine. We don't recommend people for this magazine unless we are fully behind it. You know what I mean?
Sure.
I would like to get Barbara to introduce you to Jay and get Jay to do an article on you and this project. Would you mind?
I mean, I would have to kiss you after that, but you know,
You can kiss
Believe me,
him.
I would have to kiss.
Believe me, my friend, I am so into this that I want to be able to pass on resources.
Grant, I don't say no because I really feel you are doing it with the heart. And, you know, here I feel embarrassed sometimes in this situation because I'm not used to have people that really wish from the heart to help me. But in this case, I'm telling you, you know, whatever you recommend me, I'm going to execute to the best of my ability. Let's put it that way. And another information I tell you, but this cannot be aired yet. is.
Well, after tell us.
We're being recorded right now, so still on that one right now.
I will text because it's related to India, Grant.
Okay.
I will text later Barbara,
Oh, we
and
can
she's
talk
going
after
to
we
tell
finish.
you what is sort of happening behind the scene. Because there is something that's super cool. You will love that.
Awesome, my friend. Terry Van Cannon says, Franco and I have never met here in North Carolina, but maybe in the future. Yes, maybe in the future, my friend. I would be honoured to introduce you to Franco. I really would. Franco, I got to let you know, Terry Van Cannon is a master steel guitarist, rap steel guitarist. He is the best in the world, I think. I really do. So I'd be honoured. Franco, for us here, we want to be able to open up our resources and make people aware with this. Are you familiar with the Galaxy Artist page that we have on Facebook?
I do, yes.
Yes, he does.
Oh, good. Hold on. Let me do this. That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. Tight. Yeah, very tight. Nice of you, Terry. Now, having said that, we're talking today with Franco Nannucci. I think he's in his office, actually, in the car. But believe me, it's an absolute pleasure to be able to get behind this particular project. And, well, 380 cities and 294 countries. That's not a bad spread.
What?
Yeah.
We're not by
I think I misunderstood.
380 cities, 294 countries around the world are tuned in right now.
I mean, that's really insane.
That's not bad, eh? That's a good spread, to be honest. Yes, we would love to be able to introduce you, Terry, to Franco. Believe me, you never know what might happen. You really don't. And believe me, Terry gets behind a lot of projects as well. He does. And wonderful, wonderful man in the music industry. He really is. Now, having said that, Franco, we know that you're in the textile industry. Now, for me, textile is carpet. You know what I mean? I'm used to the rag trade. Now, as I said to you, I had a model, girlfriend, once upon a time, used to walk the catwalks for some of the biggest labels in the country that used to explore their works here in New Zealand. And how long have you been in the rag trade, my friend?
In the textile business, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I was born in a cone of yarn, Grant, because, you know, I'm coming from Prato, Italy. It's a textile town, from fiber to yarn to fabric to knitwear to garment. My family was in the yarn and ladies fashion business. My in-laws were in the home decorative business. So I didn't have a chance but being in the textile business myself. So since 20 years I live in the US and take care about, you know, hospitality and residential fabrics. And until 2007, actually, I was traveling also to Australia, New Zealand 3-4 times a year because I had a lot of customers and friends. And, you know, so that's how I became passionate of the All Blacks, of the New Zealand Americans Cup. I always have the jersey, the T-shirt. And so, yeah, textile is in my blood as much as music. Textile make the money. Music, I invest my money in music for the humanitarian purpose. So textile is my vehicle to get to the music, to get to the humanitarian project. Let's put it that way.
Well, I want to invite you back to New Zealand, hear the activities, but this time not for the rag trade, but for the music industry and, of course, music for love.
I will.
We want to be able to...
I promise you I will. I promise you I will. Mm-hmm. You know, I still have a few friends, you know, after so many years, and I am missing the Kiwis. I tell you, I really miss the Kiwis atmosphere.
Well,
I really do.
If we time it right, you never know, we might be able to take an All Blacks game in.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Believe me, I've got a lot of Americans rather afraid of the All Blacks. You know, this is real rugby without helmets and pads.
Exactly. This is serious sport. I agree with you.
Exactly. And of course, we've been the world champs a number of times right now, to be honest with you. Australia, we love Australia, I've got to be honest, but we love to have a little bit of banter with them. So I'm kind of thinking, you know, if we can get a number of your artists down here. Let's do a festival, let's do a couple of festivals, raise some money here, and then zip over to Australia and do a few shows over there as well. Make it worthwhile. That way I really do feel it'll be worthwhile. But, Australia,
Trust me, as soon as we will be able to travel, Grant, we will get this drafted on a piece of paper and we will organize. Yes.
keep in
I
touch
would
with
say
Barbara.
yes.
Yeah, please, because Barbara runs a company called Aurora Entertainments that brings bands and all sorts of deals into the country. She's got
Nice.
she's a one-stop shop, literally. All you need to do is give her the wish list and a little bit of cash, and she'll meet it. Believe me, she will.
Don't worry. That's going to be... Honestly, I didn't know the Barbara had that, but of course this is a conversation to keep moving and having and keeping warm. Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely. And of course, Barbara being the manager, she's also one of our major sponsors here at Galaxy. So we're forever letting everybody know about, Aurora Entertainments and the benefits. Got to be honest though, it's been a rough couple of years with this COVID virus thing.
Yes.
How's this affected you guys over there?
Well, I am a little bit within two stones because in America they have lived it in a way. In Europe, where I'm originally from and where I have most of my family, they have got really a totally different situation. Right now in the US, it almost looks like it's no COVID, even if in certain area there are still a few restrictions. As you may have heard, in Europe now they are starting to do some lockdown again. Of course, people are not happy. Italy is still relatively okay, Spain also, but Germany and Holland and Austria, are getting some serious trouble. I was supposed to go to, and I'm still supposed to go to London end of next week because we have a first event with a partner and a record label partner that actually is the one that introduced me to the Marley family, Miss Alessandra Lusavio, over there, but they have changed the rules. So there is a lot of frustration. I really hope that some of the news that are coming these days are a bit of overreaction more than reality, because I think we all deserve to go back to a certain normal life. We are human beings. We need to live together. We need to hug each other. Maybe some fight is also part of the human being relationship, So we need to go back. But of course, health is a priority. I know that in Australia, New Zealand, guys, you have been very, very tough on rules and restrictions. So, I really hope very soon we can travel back to your islands and spend some time together with some good music. And, of course, a few good wines as well that I don't dislike at all. I'm telling you.
Well, I tell you, Franco, I will take you to some of the best wineries in the world here in New Zealand, including Montana.
What is the name of the winery that is in the island outside Auckland? I have been there once with a boat with a friend of mine.
Waiheke Island. Waiheke Island.
Waiheke Island.
Yeah, I've been there a couple of times. Yeah. I don't know if the one is the best or not over there because I was so drunk that I don't remember exactly. But I had a lot of good ones in New Zealand for sure.
Well, I tell you, Franco, I'll take you to a place called Marlborough. And down there, they have the Marlborough wine down there. It is absolutely off this planet. It really is. You're going to love it. You really are. And we would love to show you around our humble country as well. So, believe me, I'm looking forward to meeting you and, pressing a bit of flesh rather than talking on a bit of plastic. Having said that, the last time I was in Italy, I've got to be honest with you, I was in Palermo and absolutely love that little town, that city. It is a fantastic place.
Yes, it does.
Now, Franco, unfortunately, we're going to have to wrap it up here for now, but can we catch up again in the future and, just find out how things are going with you?
Grant and Barbara, first of all, I appreciate it. My phone is always available to both of you anytime you want, anytime you need. I appreciate what you are doing for me. I am willing really to see what sort of synergy we can have, with the Galaxy, with the organization of Barbara, and think positive to the fact that we can really travel soon and maybe organize a Music for Love on the other side, down under, in New Zealand. That would be a dream come true for me. So, I don't know when it can happen, but let's believe we can make it happen soon.
Yes.
And thank you again, everybody.
Believe me, Franco, there is a silver lining, and it is coming very, very shortly. But in the meantime, my friend, I want to wish you a very happy and successful and safe festive season. Enjoy your Christmas. Have a very good New Year. And we'd love to catch up with you again in the New Year. See how things are going with everything like that, how we can get involved.
Absolutely.
Please, 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 if you've got some project or anything like that, please advertise it in the Galaxy Artist page. Barbara runs that as well. It's all about awareness and getting behind you and being able to promote Music for Love, everything like that.
Thank you, and I will ask Barbara to guide me into that so that we do it the right way. Absolutely, appreciate it, man. Thank you.
No worries. Now, I've also got to say, if you've got a T-shirt with Music for Love or anything like that, while I'm doing interviews, I would love to be able to.
Let's put it this way. We have some. If Barbara send me your full address, I'll make sure tomorrow or after tomorrow I send you a mini package of goodies, including a few copies of the CDs, the hardware that old guys like us still may love to have in the hands of the Music for Love Volume 1.
Absolutely, my friend. And you know what? If you want to throw an extra couple copies in, we'll do some giveaways, if you know what I mean. Again,
absolutely. No, you can count on that. You can count, Grant, on that. Yes, absolutely.
Awesome. Again, it's all about promoting it. It's all about going for the cause, if you know what I mean, getting behind the cause and making people aware of this project. And I am so privileged to be able to be a part of this, Franco. I thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to talk to us here in New Zealand. We'd love to do it again very, very shortly. But in the meantime, my friend, don't go anywhere. We're going to do a couple of crazy photos after this, but we'll just switch over to the other studio. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Franco Nannucci, and of course we're talking about Music for Love and the proceeds and everything that it creates. You're right here at Galaxy. Here's Crowded House.